then this probably isn't going to be for you. You're probably not going to enjoy this video. If you like to just have something on in the background and you're listening along and you're sharing in an experience, and you don't mind the longer version of these kinds of videos, then you're very probably much going to like this. So that's your warning right now. If you don't like when I'm not shouting or being bombastic all the time, this isn't going to be for you. But we're going to get into this. It should be fun. I can't wait. And I have no idea what it's about. So let's just begin the game. Woo! Yeah. Also, my shoes are off because it's warm. Make sure audio is on. Got it. Thank you. WASD and mouse. Yes, as with most PC games. Thank you.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
All right.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
Yeah!
You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person.
That's a very good point.
Wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Sweet!
So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWren@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
I had no idea that this was that's what this was about.
The date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. Loading. November 2008. This is cool. Okay. This is a very big departure from what we just played. What? Whisper machine status active. Evacuate immediately.
This game is called Escape from Whisper.
Okay.
It's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay, what are we doing? Is this like a fucking Halo thing? Okay, I can't get through here. I'm suddenly panicking over a thing I just started. I can shoot. Is there anything that I have to shoot? Am I gonna find monsters? I can't reload though. Do I have infinite ammo? Hopefully.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Hostile alien life form? I don't want no alien life form, damn it!
Kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Oh!
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh!
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Can I go anywhere? Oh, hi. Thanks.
Begin shifted activation.
I love
Whoa.
how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
The bottom of the universe. Oh! Hello there! Is that what the bottom of the universe actually looks like? That's so cool looking. It's so pretty. Okay, these all say the same thing. Do I have an objective? Do I have a thing I'm supposed to be doing? I feel like I should. There's all alarms going off. Oh god, is this a maze?
This space station has a labyrinth.
Ah, no!
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past.
Thank you! Oh, thank god! I hate fucking mazes and labyrinths. Can I go back and do it? No, I won't waste time. Okay! Whisper machine status active. Okay, same thing.
That's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
Really?
If your body could stop the beam.
Yeah, that's what I feared.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Is this the big question that this whole game is going to answer? Would you give up yourself? Sure, why not? Let's move this train forward.
Let me pause here for a second.
I'm dead.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. What happens? Oh! Whoa!
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system.
That's so
Or this
cool!
floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
Still floating.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Oh, that's like a really like out of body existential kind of feeling. Oh, it's crazy. Okay. I can't move.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, oh! The past was behind her. I can only walk backwards? Oh my god, that's cool. Why has nobody done a game like that before? Well, I guess it would be kind of tedious, but it's such a neat concept. Okay, I'm stuck on something. Oh!
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
That's really cool. Because you have to stop and like look at everything. Look at your future, look at your past. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
That's like the first Portal game.
Next one.
First Portal game is like gets in, shows you its mechanics, gets out. That's it. Good jokes along the way. Can I move in this one? Yes, okay. You are now entering. Entering what? Darkness? Is this a spooky game?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay, I'ma trust you, Davey Reedon. There was nothing in there. Nonsense in nearly every
Oftentimes,
direction.
Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Whoa.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Am I slowing down?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Oh, what a cock
So
tease!
why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Sweet! So this was something that he made that you could never actually get to the top. Well, I was slowing to a crawl, I didn't stop completely. What's inside? Whoa.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening. A normal game where you have to scream into a mic
Coda
every
would
15
often
seconds
tell
to
me
keep
that
playing.
He didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
That's powerful. Press U to surrender. Wait. Okay, it doesn't... Did I actually do that by pressing U? Ready, set, fish! What? Ah! That made me feel all nice and warm and fuzzy. Hello? This does not look like something that would have ready, set, or fish in it. Let's go fishing! Hello? Okay. There's a door.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Click. What? Do I have to traverse through darkness? No. What the hell do I do? The door doesn't open. Oh, wait. If I do this, and then... Yeah!
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Not just a hat rack, my friend. Oh, I'm so invested in this now. This really has my attention. This is cool. I'm enjoying this. Hopefully you guys are too. I told you it was going to be slow. It was going to be a bit of a crawly thing that was happening, but hopefully by the end of it we'll all sit here and be like, wow. I'm already wowing at this. Do I have to close you? No. Okay. Moving on.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Why? Dude! Are those all hallways?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Yeah!
Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
This guy, there's a lot going on inside his head. And a lot of the stuff already is like, is harkening back to me as a YouTuber as well. It's like, it's not always what you see or don't see. Like, there's so much that goes on in the background that you have no idea what's actually happening. All you get to see are these snippets of our lives through these videos every day. And again, it's important to me that I come across as genuine and nice and everything. Like, because that's the kind of person that I am. And I want to convey who I am to you guys But at the same time, if some people don't see me as that kind of person, if they just see me as a loud, obnoxious asshole, that's fine, because in my heart, I know that there's more to me than that. There's more to me than watching 5 minutes of a video. There's a lot more. It's when you get the whole compilation of everything that you fully start to understand who this person is that you're watching. Sorry to try and make it like all about me. That wasn't my intention. It's the same. You are now exiting. Was I just in those games?
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
Ooh.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
This is cool! March 2009. What did he say it goes as far as 2011? The Great and Lovely Descent. Ooh, I like it. It's a very nice building.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Correct.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
The Streetwise Fool. Alrighty.
In all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Textures.
One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Dude, holy fuck.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Where do I go? Can I just drop? Yeah. This is giving me like a real, like,